It is Saturday, March 8th, and Donald Trump proven right again. Stacey Abrams going on MSNBC last night, making a full confession about what she did with the $2 billion Biden gave her. You won't believe this. Also, the Trump administration may be considering a Secret Service detail for Elon Musk. That's what we're hearing, and for good reason. This whole Act Blue controversy goes way deeper. We have the details. And what happens to leakers in Trump's new administration? Well, we're going to show you. This is good, and more stories as well from around the country. But before we get started, thank you for liking and sharing these videos. It really helps out the channel. And consider subscribing so you don't miss these regular updates. Stacey Abrams confirming last night on MSNBC's Chris Hayes show that Trump was right, that she was in fact funneled $2 billion in the final weeks of the Biden administration. This was something that President Trump highlighted during his State of the Union speech last Tuesday, which the media claimed he was lying about. Check this out. Here was what Trump said on Tuesday. Then we're going to play you Stacey Abrams' admission last night. Watch.
$1.9 billion to recently created Decarbonization of Homes Committee, headed up, and we know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed over by a woman named Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her?
The media claimed Trump was lying about this, but like what always seems to happen, Trump is proven right over and over again. Here was Stacey Abrams admitting to her $2 billion grant that the Biden administration gave her in the final weeks before leaving office. Now, why in the world would they give Stacey Abrams, a failed politician with no experience in anything, $2 billion, $2 billion in tax dollars? Watch.
Okay, so what is this organization? What is your relation to it, and what does it do?
In 2023 and 2024, I led a program called Vitalizing DeSoto. We worked in a tiny town in South Georgia to demonstrate that by replacing energy inefficient appliances with efficient appliances, you can lower your cost. And in fact, we accomplished that. For 75% of the community, they got appliances that are lowering their bills right now. We had one woman who saw her electric bill cut in half from $180 to $98. That's what we delivered. And based on that program, a coalition of organizations, famous organizations, came together and said to the EPA, if we can do this here, we can do this for millions more Americans. Let us invest the money of America in lowering the cost for Americans. And the EPA said, okay, great, go for it.
Just incredible. These people see the government as a get-rich-quick scheme, and very rich. They get super wealthy from this. It's what they use it for, spreading our money around to themselves. A decade ago, you'd never see someone like Stacey Abrams be gifted a grant to fight climate change, quote-unquote. What experience does she have? This alone should show you how unserious these people are. At least make it look legitimate, somewhat legitimate. Give it to a university-funded project or some charity with a proven track record. Instead, they give $2 billion in tax money to Stacey Abrams. It's just insane. In another story, political violence has spiked over the last year. Multiple assassination attempts against Donald Trump leading up to the election, and it hasn't stopped. We're now learning the deranged leftists who've been vandalizing Teslas, firebombing their dealerships across the country aren't random. Not random at all. They're not organic dissent. They are paid for. Paid activism, which is serious, very serious. Political violence, vandalism, doesn't count as free speech. And 2 nights ago, another dealership shot up. Watch this.
Roughly 40 protesters gathered here at the Southwest Cascade Avenue Tigard Tesla dealership for a protest. They're calling it the Rally to Restore Democracy. They were protesting against President Donald Trump, Elon Musk, the Doge cuts, and also the tariffs at the border. This protest is only hours after police report that this Tesla dealership was hit by multiple gunshot rounds overnight. Investigators believe at least 7 shots were fired, damaging 3 cars and shattering windows. 1 bullet went through an office wall and into a computer monitor. This incident comes after a string of vandalism attempts for Teslas and Tesla dealerships across the nation.
This man firebombing a Tesla dealership in Salem, Oregon, causing $500,000 in damage, just chucking Molotov cocktails at Tesla vehicles, blowing up a red Tesla in their lot. And it turns out this is happening on a widespread scale all across the country. A new paid campaign called Tesla Takedown has been activated. Look at the in-person protests they're putting together this week across the country, pinned on this map right on their website. Now, corporate media is portraying this as a bottom-up campaign, a grassroots type effort, kind of like the Tea Party movement was, which couldn't be further from the truth. Elon Musk revealing last night, after investigating this all week, that they've linked 5 ActBlue funded groups behind these Tesla protests and recently transferred donations from George Soros, Reid Hoffman, Herbert Sandler, and Patricia Bowman are allegedly being used to fund the campaign. Now, where it gets scary is that reports from within ActBlue, again, ActBlue, the Dems' primary PAC, their primary political action committee, up in arms over this. Members of the ActBlue leadership began resigning this week over these campaigns maybe going too far. And that's saying something. These are partisan people, folks. As left as you get. They run the Dems' main political action committee. ActBlue is a powerhouse in Democrat fundraising, and even they don't want to be associated with this. Maybe because they know they're going to get caught. Political violence? Over the line. You think? The New York Times reporting yesterday that ActBlue, the Dem fundraising powerhouse, faces internal chaos, writing that at least 7 senior officials have left the group, setting off concerns about its future as it confronts scrutiny from congressional Republicans. Charlie Kirk saying 7 of these top executives have all left in the past 3 weeks, all of whom had been there more than a decade. None of them, though, will explain on the record why they left. The last remaining lawyer at ActBlue's general counsel's office has been locked out of his email and put on leave after sending internal messages that we have whistleblower policies for a reason. Now, there's a congressional investigation into ActBlue happening now. And the more we learn, the stranger things get. Earlier this week in Congress, the head of ActBlue testified and admitted, more or less admitted, that they've gotten billions in overseas donations, which aren't allowed. There's also inquiries into whether this group was involved in a major credit card fraud. They're the only political fundraising group who doesn't require CVC codes when donating money on their website. Does that mean they're involved in credit card fraud? No, but there's been questions around this PAC for years. They appear to be some giant money laundering organization. Pam Bondi, the AG, and Kash Patel, FBI director, all over this. Apparently, those 7 executives who just resigned could be preparing for indictments coming down. We're going to see. In another story, Kristi Noem, Trump's new DHS secretary, announcing yesterday that they have caught 2 DHS employees who were leaking to the press ICE raids before they happened. Kristi Noem says they have caught, captured, and perp-walked them out of the building and is referring both of them for prosecution, saying they face up to 10 years in federal prison. Watch.
Everyone, I wanted to give you a quick update. We have identified 2 leakers of information here at the Department of Homeland Security who have been telling individuals about our operations and putting law enforcement lives in jeopardy. We plan to prosecute these 2 individuals and hold them accountable for what they've done. And we're going to continue to do all that we can to keep America safe.
This comes as Trump's immigration policy is working, completely solving the invasion of our southern border. Look at these numbers for February border crossings. Each year of Biden's term, 166,000 illegal crossings in February 2022, 156,000 in 23, 190,000 in February 24. Then Trump comes into office, his first full month in office, February of 2025, only 8,300 total illegal crossings. And the main difference is that under Biden, we had catch and release. Trump's policy is catch and eject. I should trademark that, catch and eject. Biden would catch and catalog and then release the illegal border crossers into the interior of the country. Trump's 8,300 illegal crossings, they were caught, cataloged, and then sent right back over the border. I really think this is one of those issues that shows clearly. This is like the clearest example of the failure, the clearest juxtaposition between Dems and Republicans. Biden and his team lied over and over and over again about this, and we have it on video. Watch.
It's the toughest, most efficient, most effective border security bill this country has ever seen.
Democrats were on their back foot on immigration. Now we are on our front foot.
Look, the president has been very clear. We need that bipartisan border security bill.
By any objective measure, it's strong, tough, and realistic.
I will bring back the bipartisan border security bill that he killed, and I will sign it into law.
In another story, former NIH director Francis Collins, the man who ran the National Institutes of Health during the pandemic, Fauci's boss, remember him? Collins, famously part of the vicious takedown we saw of Jay Bhattacharya, Trump's new NIH director. Bhattacharya was excoriated for proposing a focused approach of protecting the vulnerable and elderly rather than these universal lockdowns and school closures. Well, yesterday, Francis Collins attended and went on stage at an anti-Trump rally to host a sing-along with these people. You can't make this up. Watch.
This is a song for all the good people. Come on. All the good people who are part of this family. This is a song for all the good people. We're joined together by this noble dream. Well, this is a song for all of those dreamers. We're looking for answers to come our way. Scientists, doctors, students, all seekers, we share in the hopes for a much brighter day. Come on now. Well, this is a song for all the good people, all the good people who are part of this family. This is a song for all the good people. We're joined together by this noble dream.
It's already been a month since Pam Bondi was sworn in as AG, and we've yet to see any movement or accountability for the architects of the pandemic response, or the people who framed Donald Trump during Trump 1.0, or the countless other criminal actions that we saw over the last 8 years. Instead, one man so far has been fired, the head of the New York field office for the FBI. One guy. Let me know in the comments, do you think they're slow-walking this on purpose? Do you think they will bring accountability? Is Pam Bondi the right person? Let me know what you think. All right, that wraps up this episode. Like, subscribe. We'll see you next time.